Welcome, everybody, to the Capes and Cast Members podcast. First off, thanks for joining us today on what I believe will be our first episode, maybe the last, who can say? This is a podcast show where cosplay meets cast life, and we peel the mask off and find out what's behind the characters at your favorite theme parks and conventions. Every week, I am joined by producer Daniel, who's normally behind the scenes. But for this very first episode, he decided to psychologically torture me and
Yes,
interview
sir.
me first off. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Welcome,
is the only
Daniel.
way. This is the only way I was going to do it. First off, I apologize if any of you guys catch me looking this way. I'm also producing while we're doing the show, so I'm watching all the different bells and whistles here. But
Sure.
I I can't multitask very well. My girlfriend gets very mad at me. But I will. I'm excited. I'm really honestly excited because this is the one I've kind of been waiting for. This won't be the last. We've already done a couple under our belt, but uh,
Who,
this
who
is the
can
one I was
say how
waiting
this will
for.
turn out?
Eh,
All right.
give us a little freedom, okay? We're just started, but I promise you, we'll get going. Continue, sir.
Well, this will be an amazing psychological experiment. When Daniel says he's excited, I approached him saying I wanted to do a podcast with him. We've done a few before. We did one based on Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, the
I
television
loved
series.
it.
We covered every single episode. It was called The Mystery Machine Diaries. Try to find that if you can. That's a mystery in itself.
You
And we
can.
also, you probably could. We also did one called The Kaiju Club about Godzilla films with my partner Christopher.
Which legitimately changed my life. By the way, for the better. So I really thank you for that because I wasn't really into kaiju prior to this. So or prior to that moment. So there you go.
We're here to help. And when I approached said producer Daniel, he asked me, "Who's your audience? What do you want to say?" And I couldn't give him a good answer.
Nope.
So thus this pilot episode where he is going to psychologically dissect me and find out why we're doing this. So come along on the journey, won't you? And we'll see what's up.
Excellent. Well, I know from knowing who you are, we know this. Capes and cast members, we're talking about cosplay. We're talking about people who have worked behind the scenes as a cast member on different kinds of. I don't want to just limit it to theme parks because I think I'm going to hit something that's not a theme park that you were involved in. So, but where you're putting on a costume, where
Right?
you're putting on something to entertain the people. And so I wanted to ask you first off, when did you first fall in love with this idea of putting on some sort of costume for whatever reason? And to a point where it's beyond Halloween. Like I feel like everybody's like Halloween, oh, this is fun. But like after Halloween, these people are dedicated either financially because they're working at a theme park or
Sure.
because they're going to the cons dressed up amazingly. What made you fall in love with this?
The year was 1979, maybe.
Mm.
Little Brad was at Sears, and his mom got him a fabric Superman costume, and I would wear it every day, not just Halloween, every day. And then from there, I've always had an obsession with superheroes, as you know, and
Yes.
sci-fi, pop culture, you name it. In my modern life, I think it was when I built my first stormtrooper outfit, which
Which I've
was
seen. Is it the one I've seen?
yes, which was
Nice.
2003 maybe. I went to Star Wars Celebration in San Francisco and I saw everyone dressed up. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is amazing. These people are so committed." And I have very little artistic talent when it comes to making things. So luckily my roommate at the time is very talented. Shout out to Chris Canady. I bought the vacuum form parts for the Stormtrooper outfit, and what I created probably looked like you know when you watch those cartoons and it's not quite right, Star Wars, to
I
get past
love those ones.
to break copyright, you know? And
Yeah, yeah.
he took it and within a matter of weeks had it just it looked like a whole different suit. I'm sure you can post a picture of me right here
Yeah, I will
wearing
post it.
said suit.
You guys are seeing it now. If you're watching the show, you're
Oh,
seeing it now.
you're seeing me at least 50 pounds ago, so that was me. I had hair. It was great. Good times, you
I
guys.
hate those photos. I hate photos of me in the past because I'm happy with how I
Galaxy,
look like now. But then you look at
galaxy
how
far,
you,
far away.
yeah, and you're like, I thought this was the best I looked. But continue.
Yeah. So join the 501st, which is a cosplay group. They dress up as essentially stormtroopers. They go to
I
parades and things.
I know somebody who I know several people part of the 501st. They're huge. Did you ever do anything like important for Disney? Or this would be pre-Disney anyways, right? So did you ever do anything?
Pre-Disney. The coolest thing we did was we marched in the Rose Parade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
part of that.
And let me tell you, every time you dress as a stormtrooper, I don't care where it is, uh, people just lose their minds. They just stop whatever they're doing. They don't get,
Mm-hmm.
and they will come talk to you. They want photos. And
Oh
that
yeah.
I think one of the beauties of cosplay where you get to totally immerse yourself when it's not really you. You really get to experience it through their eyes more than yours. You get to see the fandom is this the minute you put on a costume, it's not you anymore. Um,
Yep.
cut to a little sorry, I gotta backtrack a little bit. It was the 90s, we all forget stuff. I did work for Chuck E. Cheese for about 4 years, and I did dress up as Chuck E. Cheese many, many times. That's probably where I got the wearing the suit, the mascot suit bug, because that was crazy
Really.
times. Yeah, that
So
was
so
nuts,
I want to stick to that a little bit. Before
guys.
we get into that, though, I do want to go back to the 501st because this
Uh-huh.
kind of there's several ways the passion of cosplay has made its way from cosplay back into the lexicon of the said IP, whatever it is. But
Right.
I know for a fact the people of the 501st, and there are other cosplayers who do Star Wars
Oh, yeah.
throughout the country and throughout the world, and they each have a logo. And I know the 501st made it into one of the more recent Star Wars films, as well as the Red Stormtrooper kind of made its way into her lexicon. And that guy was a part of the 501st for a little bit too. So, and then I'll even go to Predator, Alien vs Predator, when they did the Batman Dead End.
The fan film?
Yeah, the
Oh,
fan
that
film, which is
Alright. Anyone who's listening, watching this, stop right now. Just stop.
uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell you to
Mhm.
stop. Go on the YouTubes. If you haven't seen this, type in Batman Dead End. We're not gonna ruin it for you. It's a very short fan film from many decades ago, way ahead of its time.
Yep.
Watch it, come back, press play. You're welcome. All right.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't seen it, so I guess I won't spoil it then. There
Well,
is
they've seen it now. They've seen it now.
Oh, by this point, yeah, they've seen it now. So
Yeah.
it is where he fights a certain alien race that is a part of an IP. It's not ET, but it would be funny if it was.
Uh,
That would be hysterical. Just Batman beating the crap out of ET.
I
Anyways,
would pay good money for that. I
there is a.
would love that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm certain you would. But then, anyways, there's a
You
certain.
know, you know of my hatred of ET.
Oh yes, I know. That I realized I was like, this is a perfect
Slimy,
example. Have
space
Batman just
stains.
wailing on him.
Oh, ugh.
What are you doing here? Yeah.
Yeah, at least he has
down.
gloves on. He's fine. He's fine. He won't get those space
Yeah.
cooties. Yeah.
Exactly. But there is an alien IP that's in that film, and that made its way into the actual one of the newer films again. So it's a back and forth influence that really is really amazing about cosplay itself. Now we're getting into you're doing this for pay, which there's lots of things you do for pay. We understand this fact, but Chuck E. Cheese, that takes a certain type of bravery just to A, work at Chuck E. Cheese, and B, then get into the suit, and C, be happy being in that suit. So how did that come about?
Once again, it was 1991, everybody. Kurt Cobain was still alive. Joyous times in Seattle where I grew up. Uh, I'd always loved Chuck E. Cheese as a kid. Who didn't? I was obsessed with video games. Once again, pop culture. And I just stopped in the Chuck E. Cheese and did a job. I was still in high school and I got hired. And they're like, do you want to wear the suit? Yeah. Yeah, I do. And so I did. And once again, it's anyone who's ever put a full mask on knows reality goes out the window once you once you're dressed up as a mascot or a character. Uh, you create your own world. One of my favorite things is you get a lot of pictures, of course, at birthday parties. Like here's the kid, smile, and you smile in the suit, even though you know they can't see you, but you're still
I never
smiling.
thought of that.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that. That is.
Was it just me, guys, out there? If you've ever done that, because every
I
time
want
I
to know.
they can't see me. They don't know I'm smiling.
Fair. So that's why, like, who else are you? Were you the only one that smiled? Or did everybody else who's ever been in a Mickey costume, a Bugs costume, did you smile? I'm curious.
That's a good question. Oh, I hope I'm not the only one.
That'd be the best if you were the only one. As far as I'm concerned, that would be the best thing to happen.
So yeah, I did that. I even they would have like mascot soccer games where you'd like play soccer against like the Red Robin Bird and all those people.
Oh, that's cool.
So crazy.
I love that idea.
So I guess, cosplay dressing up. I did, of course, in the late mid 2010s join the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, which is, if you don't know that, folks out there, it is primarily a gay group of drag nuns, and we go out and do charity work for people and raise money for different great causes. I did that for about 10 years. So it's always been something. And I'm also big into the gay leather scene, which is also dressing up. So
Sure.
I can't escape it, you guys. I can't escape it.
So that's the thing. So you're saying because for the most part, people get sick of that costume, or like we're like, oh, I'm happy that was a time of my life that I did. It was a fun experience per se, but I'm glad I'm out. Like most people are like, I'm glad I'm out. Today, if you were given the opportunity, would you hop back into the Chuck E. Cheese outfit?
Heartbeat. I don't know if you guys have seen, they've announced these new Chuck E. Cheeses that are opening for adults.
Yep. Yes, they are.
Each one is based on a different character. And if San Francisco or LA gets one based on Mr. Munch, that's me, you guys. That's gonna be me. I will fight you all. I will fight every one of you to the death.
I love it. That is the best. Okay.
Would love it.
So there comes a point in folks' livelihood, and this goes for any passion. I feel this is where I think the passion actually hits and kicks in for most people. No matter what your passion is, this is the next step. I like it. Now I need to learn more of it, right? Now I need to learn the next step, or go dive deeper beyond just what I know on the surface of it, which is in this case, they like to put on costumes. They like to they put on the costume for work. Like that's like the surface, but when you dive a little bit deeper, there's something that made you go, "Oh, this is great. I really, really love this." What was your journey diving a little bit deeper into cosplay or theme park costuming? What was the thing that made you kind of go, "Oh, I love this whole thing"?
For me, I'm sure everyone's different, and there we go. That's one of the reasons why we have this podcast. We'll be talking to people who do this for a living, for fun. For me, I like not being myself for a while. It's great being someone recognizable that people attach and gravitate to. I like a full body costume simply because probably insecurities, body insecurities. I'm a chubby guy. Also, it's hard for me to go to regular, there's no, standard cosplay. It's not like I could go out and go do Wolverine tomorrow. I could try, but, chubby, out of shape, bald Wolverine.
Which is Marvel Earth. Sorry, I
Yeah,
was trying to figure out
Earth
which Marvel Earth
Bear,
that was.
the Bear Earth.
Earth 8337.
So
Go ahead.
there it is. So it lets me do what I love without having to be a certain body type. And I know, I mean, people out there are like, oh, you could be whatever you want to be. It's true. It's true.
Yep, 100%.
I've created my own characters. I've gone out with my husband to conventions, based on the bear versions of those things. But I just I'm lazy, so just to have a whole costume to put on that's already ready to go. And just a side note, I'm not a plushie or a furry. Am I against it? Hell no. I could, because you're out there thinking it. My my hu- my my husband's already clocked that if I was gonna do that furry or plushie, I would be dressed up as my pet monster.
I just
That's
pulled mine out from storage. I gotta grab it.
that would
Go
be
ahead.
my dream mascot suit is my pet monster, you guys. So if any of you know how to make that,
Wow.
you let me know because that would be my with the chains and everything. Oh, anyway,
That's a pull. You were like 13-ish when that came out, right? No, you were like 10-ish when that came out. Huh.
tennis, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just ordered my new one. They just released a new one from the Loyal Subjects. They're a new
Oh
company
man, I
that's
loved it.
releasing a lot of 80s toys. So they just released an exclusive smaller version of my pet monster, and yep,
I,
maybe I'll wear that on the show. Being my pet monster head.
for those of you who don't know who My Pet Monster is or what My Pet Monster is, I can't tell you the story. I didn't even understand the story when I was a kid watching that, and I loved it. But understand that there's a movie called My Pet Monster, live action as well as a cartoon. Just go enjoy, be on something
YouTube,
before.
yeah. YouTube has the VHS on there, and it will change your life in a bad way, probably.
Yeah,
Not like
yeah.
Batman Dead End. This is more of a dead end. It's a
No,
dead end. Yeah.
you're just like, why did I like this? But there we go.
You always have to remember it was the 80s, you guys. We had things called popples where you just really literally inverted their bodies inside out and then turned into a
So,
ball. And none of
yep.
us thought that was weird. So
None of us were like, oh, that's normal. Yeah, that's normal. Uh, all right, yeah, you're hitting all the things that I've been wanting you to hit, which is,
uh-oh.
what is the passion behind it, and yours is just for you, it's escape, and I feel and imagine that's what it is for the most part, and I can also see another half of it being attention to an extent, and that's fine.
Oh
Whatever
yeah.
your passion is, that's the point.
I don't think I know
Um,
any person who dresses up as cosplay who doesn't want attention.
exactly. Now, for me, I never have done
Meaning
cosplay
consent.
or
Consent is important. Not saying that they want to
yes.
be groped or touched.
Let them get back into we gotta make sure we get the consent.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Sorry, yes.
totally glazed over that. Anyways, for me, I personally have always wanted to do this. My dream jobs, there were two dream jobs. I did one of them when I was a kid. One was being a movie studio tour guide, which I thought was going to be Universal because that's the only one I had known of. And then
Sure.
suddenly I ended up going into a world that I feel I kind of dominated a little bit in. I was pretty good at the time, but I
Not
was
to
also
brag. Yeah.
not to brag, but I was also very happy that was a dream. So you can kind of tell that was a thing. But the other dream was I wanted to be Mickey. I wanted to be Bugs. I wanted to be all those things. But I, as I looked into it, the parameters for me to fit in the costumes that I fit in, and I'm like, I don't want to be those guys. I don't want to be that. Which is a
I
big
I
deal.
I did about 20 some odd years ago go to Universal to an open call for suit people,
Uh-huh.
and the minute I wanted this is when the Simpsons Land was opening, you guys. It was brand new. And I wanted to be Homer Simpson, but they looked at me. I swear to God, you're on the stage, you're auditioning, and the lady goes, "Correct, you you guys."
But I would have been Shrek.
All my self esteem out the
Just
way. Like I turned into a force ghost. I was okay, and then we got as far as them putting the costume on me. It is a big and then they were putting the head on. They're like, does anyone know how to take this off? And then I got
Oh
super
no,
claustrophobic and I
you're
freaked out.
claustrophobic. I was about to say you're claustrophobic. This isn't gonna go.
Yeah, and they're like, "Well, no,
Wow.
no, get someone." And I was like, "I'm gonna die in a Shrek suit, you guys."
Which is, I
Fat
would
guy
die
dies
that
in a
way.
Shrek suit. Yeah.
Well,
Thus
that would
ending
see,
any costumes at Universal for me.
and this goes with anything. Your nightmare is my dream. So, like, I would have, if I had died in a Shrek costume, I'd be like, yeah, that
Ain't
was it.
that the truth? Ain't
We're
that the
good to go.
truth? That really does.
It's with everybody.
You would also dress as a Power Ranger.
Me? Oh my god.
Yeah. Or one of the
Yes.
monsters. Okay, if you had to dress
So,
up as one of the monsters, what would it be?
oh, you know what? I found newfound respect for Goldar.
Yeah, hot.
So I'd be
Maybe I
Goldar.
am into furries.
I think you are. When
Oh,
you said you weren't, I was like, that's semi-false. But
I
I will
know.
be quiet about it. Anyways,
I'm outing myself, I guess.
but no, that brings my question up. So you named something that I always wanted to be the Green Ranger. 100%. You saw my passion for that. I would there are other things I wanted to be too, like Batman. I always of course wanted to be, and uh some of them were realistic. Some of them I could actually be. I was a Ninja Turtle 5 years in a row. You can be chubby in a shell, and it's
You
perfectly
can
fine.
be. Can be.
So nobody questioned whether or not I was a ninja that night.
Turtle
Whereas if
power.
I'm just a fat, if I'm just a little fat ninja walking around, they're like, no. You put on a shell though,
Aw.
they accept you. They accept you immediately.
It's all about the shell.
That's what it was. But
That's deep.
what
That's
is?
deep. It's all about
You're
the
welcome. You're welcome. What is something that you wanted to always be, but for whatever reason you couldn't, you didn't, you have not?
shell. To dress up as? Or
Yes, sir.
well, Superman is my favorite superhero. And like I said, when you're 5 and you've got hair and you're tiny, it's fine.
Yes.
Now I'm just a fat Lex Luthor. Um, I would, oh, Superman's always up there. I've done drag as Wonder Woman. You'll never see those pictures.
I think I have.
Yeah, maybe you have actually.
Okay.
Huh. I'm thinking. Godzilla would be fun.
Oh, yeah, you hit a
Godzilla's
good
cool.
one.
Yeah.
Full
That's
respect to
probably
people
yeah.
who build that kind of thing. If you build that kind of thing, first off, if you build those kinds of things, you're who we want to talk to. You're the exact person that we want to talk to. So please hit us up. Find us on social media. I will tell you what that is in the description because I don't think we've even gotten our social media up yet. I haven't
Great.
decided that. It'll be in the description. You'll see. Just take a look. But yeah, that's awesome. Those are perfect. Perfect examples.
Hooray.
So you're not too deep in the community. You are in there, but are there any unspoken rules within the community that newbies should kind of know, or is it just kind of like you're welcome, one and all?
That's a great question. I am surface level. I know a lot of amazing people. I think what they would say is everyone is welcome. And that's one of the beautiful things when you go to conventions. You'll see people. I always get blown away by older folks, like I'm talking 70s, 80s, who are living their best life dressed up. I can't say no judgment because everybody judges you guys. You know that. If I, especially me, I'm the worst because like I also love Wonder Woman. I love a certain type of Wonder Woman. If someone, I'm like, those boots are incorrect. The shading on that is all wrong. So maybe not the best person to ask. There's lots of groups. There's lots of groups. With groups, there's cliques. With cliques, there's negative things. So I would say my advice would be go into it with your full heart. Do it because you love it, not because you want to impress anybody. And live by Dolly Parton's rule of what other people think of you is none of your business.
Oh,
That's my advice.
I should get that tattooed on my lower back. That is a good. The more I learn about Dolly Parton, I don't know why I didn't love her before. I get upset.
It's amazing.
All right.
But there are definitely some people that I really want to peel the onion layer on who do this not as a living, as a side project, but really, really want to find out what makes them tick because some people are so good that
Yes.
that's going to be fun finding out about them.
Uh, this kind of goes to my next question is when it comes down to people that you admire and you're trying to figure out something that they've done, do you have any resources that you kind of look to try to accomplish your goal of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in terms of whatever costume you're trying to do, or even like if you're trying to become a part of a company that like like a Six Flags or like a Disney or like whatever, to try to get in on this whole situation, whichever avenue you want to take?
We live in a beautiful, scary world of the internet, and there is a fandom for everything. If you love, uh, Gravity Falls, and there are groups they'll have costume patterns. It's all out there.
Ooh.
It's just how much you want to invest. My another piece of advice: don't jump in. Put your feet in. Put your feet in the water of cosplay and stuff because it's expensive, you guys. Especially the more elaborate suits. We also live in a world of 3D printers where now literally anything is possible. You know, 20 years ago, you would just have to get cardboard or vacuum form plastic and make it yourself. Now, give it a few hours, you can have it printed out on a not expensive printer and paint it yourself. And
Oh, you're pulling something. You're
yeah,
pulling out the thing. Look at this. Look at this.
printed this
And
out not too long ago.
you've
The
printed
wo-
out several things that I've been like, "Oh my god, I need one."
yes.
This, the Rocketeer mask.
Oh, R.I.P. Rocketeer mask, you guys. I've done so many. I've melted 3 of them. I've
How?
left them out in the garage and they melted 3 times. I did not learn my lesson.
Okay, so that's a good thing. That's a good tip for everybody. If you are 3D printing your masks, they will probably melt,
Well, if you do it
depending on where
my
you put them.
way,
Wow, that's insane. The Batman mask, I saw that one too. The full
Batman,
face
come
mask too, which
on.
is insane. Oh man.
So that is my newest obsession. And they're not even for me to wear. I just think they're cool. Once again, helmets. I think helmets are rad
Yeah.
and that those cost very little. The files were essentially free to download, and it's just the cost of the materials and the paint and your patience. If you love sanding, and boy doesn't everybody, that's for you.
All right. And so that brings us to my next question. And you may repeat some of these things, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to refer to a question that we already talked to, but you may repeat some of the things, some of these answers that were in other questions. So I ask for forgiveness from our audience, but we're going to use this for folks like on TikTok and stuff. Um,
Never ask for forgiveness.
all right, then don't forgive me. Just stay, please. All right. What have you gained from cosplay? We'll start off with the good. What have you gained from cosplay? But also, what are some negative aspects of cosplay and costuming and all this stuff that you've discovered that were possibly a surprise to you?
I've gained living out my wish, my dreams of being larger than life with a bunch of people who feel likewise. And very few people get to realize their dreams in this world and get to do what they really want to do. So I think cosplay is a great outlet. Now, that being said, I'm not great at getting into character if it's not a full bodysuit. Like, if I went to a Star Trek experience and people are dressed as Klingons, talking like Klingons, that makes me uncomfortable. So
Me too,
I
though.
just
But I
that's just
also
my thing.
admire it, of
I
course.
do
I
admire,
admire
of
it.
course, I admire anyone that can stay in character. Uh, Negatives. Wow. You are your harshest critic. Doesn't matter what it is. No one's going to be harder on you than you are. Uh, so always take it with a grain of salt, and you can improve on it. It's one of those things you can improve on every time you do it. If it didn't look the way you wanted it to in photos, back to the drawing board. Uh, I know a lot of people whose journeys have started out really small and gotten really big, and they didn't do it, all in the first day. It's like anything. Um, and I'll say it again: don't let anyone judge you. It's you. It's what you want to do. And if someone's not into it, all right, thanks, bye. Uh, but let me tell you, if you've always wanted to try cosplay, if you've always wanted to be in a character suit at a theme park, the minute a child comes up to you and hugs you, that's gonna be it. That's it. You're done. You're addicted forever. There's no going back, because there's no better feeling than seeing a little kid like you were look that same look in the eyes that you probably had when you were young. So
That
that's it.
you hit the major reason why I even wanted to be in those costumes, was because I knew how happy those costumes made me as a kid, and I was really happy. So, because I thought they were real. I thought, as a kid, I thought that's Mickey Mouse. And then I see my daughter. I took her when she was 3 to Disneyland, and she saw Minnie Mouse. Her jaw dropped. She goes, "These." She almost cursed. If babies could have cursed, she almost.
Oh,
What the fuck? She almost did that, and she was just shocked to see Minnie Mouse. That was a thing.
aren't we
So,
all?
and it's that right there. At the very least, for me, that was the motivation, regardless of how much money I spent on this, because this, as you said, this could be expensive. This is an expensive uh, hobby.
And kids have it great, man. They can dress up as anything. There's costumes for everything. If there's an
Exactly.
IP out there, you can be every one of those Descendants kids, those zombie kids. Now
Mhm.
that K-pop Demon Hunter,
Oh
that's
my
gonna be
god.
everywhere this
Woo!
Halloween, you guys.
Boy, I am gonna freak out this Halloween. It was a beautiful movie, gotta
Oh, I
say.
loved it.
Beautiful
Loved
movie.
it. Loved it.
But that's another podcast. We'll get
It
on that
is.
later. All right. All right. Before we go, uh we've gotten through your whole life. Now, in terms of cast
That
member,
was fast.
you could say Chuck E. Cheese. Look at it, you enjoyed it though, right? That's the
Yeah.
point. That's the point. But I have a big one, and that is, what's your most memorable behind the scenes moment as a cast member? I feel cosplaying doesn't really have these stories. I feel like cast members have these stories more often, because you're there every day. You're doing it. You're in the trenches.
Wow. Oddly enough, um, I've worked at Warner Brothers for 18 years as a tour guide. I've gotten to do the most amazing things you could ever imagine, like bar none. The best moment happened last week when I got to host and create a tour for Pee Wee's Big Adventure's 40th anniversary. I got to go on stage in front of 500 fans, introduce the movie, tell my story of why I loved the character so much and how much the movie meant to me. I got to interview Francis from the film. I got to interview the writer from the film.
Oh my god.
When I was done, people left the movie and they came and hugged me. Like, oh, your story really made me feel so deep and blah, blah, blah. I can't believe, all this stuff. That's never happened before, you guys. And so that moment was so special. And once again, 10-year-old me never thought I would ever, let alone work at the studio where the film was made. Number two, be able to host the movie uh, and connect with everybody. So that was very, 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 very powerful. That's, yeah.
Now, I said that was the last question, but you just reminded me of a very important question. So, and it's the important one. It is, why am I doing this with Brad? Why do I even bother to do this with Brad? It's the
A lot
question.
of guys say that.
But it's an important question, and it's because I wanted people to get to know someone whom um I'm a huge admirer of, because if I can say one thing about Brad, and this is where I want you, I'm prepping you to discuss your life with Pee Wee, because I feel like that's a good story in terms of getting to know who you are as a person, uh, and how fearless kind of you are. Even though I know you're full of fear. I've seen you very afraid many, many times. But
You
like when
out.
it comes down to the important shit, when it comes down to once in a lifetime opportunities, I feel you reach for it, you grab it, and you hold on to it. And so, um, cosplay, being a cast member, those are things that are a lot of every people's dreams. And some people are just afraid to let their dream come true, to be okay
True.
with that dream coming true. So please, can you continue with, can you tell me, how did you get involved? How did you like Pee Wee, and how did you end up getting involved in his life, so to speak?
Sure. All right. B- In the Wayback Time Machine, 5th grade, we all learned how to write letters. It was a letter writing thing. People are like, "Oh, we're gonna write letters. I'm gonna send mine to the president. Mine's gonna be to this sports person." And of course, I wrote to Pee Wee Herman. That's who I wrote it to. I didn't know who Paul Rubens was at the time. I had no concept of that. So I wrote a letter. It was great. 2 months later, I get a letter back from him, which blew my little mind up. Still does, with a little fan club card and all that good stuff. Cut to early 2000s. I met Paul Rubens, and I got to show him the letter, and he signed it.
Oh,
And I said, I got to tell him everything he meant to me. And I said, I give tours at Warner Brothers. If you ever want a tour, with your friends, just let me know. Here's my card. I do that to a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, that would be great." Most people never hear from. About a month later, there's a number from a phone I don't recognize. I let it go to voicemail. I listen to it. Uh, "Hey, Brad, it's Paul, Pee Wee. Uh, I had such a good time meeting you. I'd really like to take the tour. I got some friends coming from out of town. So, how are we going to set that up? Here, you have my number. Please don't share it." So, okay. So we set up a
I
tour.
heard I heard that message too, by the way, and
Good.
my jaw dropped. My jaw dropped.
One of my biggest regrets is on my fifth new phone, it got erased. So that hurts my heart.
Hmm.
Yeah. But he came in, of course, incognito, very low key. I gave him a tour with regular people on the lot. No one recognized him. And I didn't just subtly throw out Pee Wee references. This was a Pee Wee tour. And he was laughing the whole way through. And then, you know, every few months he would, do it again. Other people from out of town would show up, and we would do that. And then he did a revival of Pee Wee's Playhouse on stage where it started. And I got tickets. Me and my best friend went. Kind of in the middle of the show, he looks out in the audience and sees me. We make eye contact, stops the show, steps to the front of the stage, goes, "That's my tour guide. That's my Warner Brothers tour guide right there. He's so amazing." And then just like a mirror shattering, that's what it was.
Wow.
That was the moment that I was like, "This is crazy. This is my life. This is my life now, you guys." And he would send me Christmas cards every year up until he passed. So
God.
yeah.
I and that goes to Brad. So I want to point out this part of the story that makes me go, this is Brad facing fear. It's Brad giving his card. He'll do that, and he does it for amazing stuff. He does more charity work than I know of out of anybody else in in my entire life. Uh, and I know people who work for charities who've done less than what Brad has done.
Aw.
So uh, yeah, that's why we're doing this. We're doing this to talk to a community of people who are either running, allowing themselves to escape from who they are, wanting others to go ahead and join them and be who they want to be, and things like that. And that's what this, or make the money the way you want to make the money, which is by putting a costume on and having fun. So those are all aspects that are perfectly fine. That's what we're here for. Excellent. Do you have any final words before we head on out, sir?
I just want to thank you, Daniel, for anytime I have an idea, Daniel's like, let's do it. Okay. It's all very jarring to have so much blind support. So, so this has been great. A little emotional, not gonna lie. Anyone listening out there, we want you on the show. If this is your passion, if you've ever put on a costume, if you've ever wanted to, you just did it recently. I would love to talk to you about your first time going to a Comic-Con. This is a very open forum. I really want this just to be a fun place for us to get together and share things we love because there's so few of those things out there. And I hope this works out. And I hope you tell your friends. I hope you tell your enemies. And I hope producer Daniel doesn't fire me.
I won't fire you, but take a look at the social media stuff in the description if you want to follow us. And if you're hearing us and this is our first episode, you already know where to find us. But tell others where to find us. That would be great.
I am Bradley Bear 3000 on just about every platform. And I'm sure we'll have our own Capes and cast members social media set up by the time this hits your earballs and your eyeballs. And I would love to
Absolutely.
hear from you. Give me a shout out. Let me know if you have any questions. If you just want to let me know you were Chuck E. Cheese once, you have a My Pet Monster costume I can buy. That's the new
You'd
goal,
make
you
a lot of
guys.
money immediately. That's what that is.
Take it.
Uh,
Take all my money, you guys. But I want to thank you. If you've made it all the way through this, that means a lot. So thank you so much.
all right, guys. And I will do the sign off on this first one. But after this, it's going to be all Brad's idea, all Brad's thing. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you all soon.
Bye.
Chucky!
Bye, everybody. I'm going to steal your soul.